trying to reconnect.
I do.
Oh,
Hey,
we're live.
Just like that.
Hi, everyone.
It's
Or should I
episode
say,
2.
Good evening.
Good evening. All right, episode 2. Thank you guys so much for giving us great feedback last week and saying that you wanted to see more because that made us want to come back. So thank you for that. The big reveal. What are we making tonight?
We are making pesto.
Pesto. It's pesto night.
Pesto night.
We usually make this in the summer because we grow basil in our garden, and the basil usually goes...
We do. We grow 2 types of basil, the Italian large leaf and the Genovese basil.
Mm-hmm. And we usually do really well with basil. I mean, Colorado can be kind of a hostile climate to grow things in, but herbs usually do really well here. Our basil usually grows well. We do our basil in containers, in like rain barrel containers with tomatoes, and it's great with tomatoes. So this is usually a summer recipe, but you can buy basil at the store, so you can really make it anytime you want to. Are we good?
I was the wine. That's got our names on it, so people know who we are.
I know. It's
just
like
another reminder.
It's our brand, sort of. Do you want some of this?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
Yes, thank you. Yes.
You take that? All right.
And by the way, this is not fancy wine. I just want people to know we do like to drink fancy wine. It's just that we can't afford it.
No.
So we drink boxed wine.
Yes.
Just kind of a step up from the jug wine.
Yes.
That my parents drink. Thank you, Mom and Dad.
That's really good for sangria.
Very good, actually. Yeah, fantastic.
We'll do sangria in like a summer episode, but yeah, when the jug wine gets left behind, he'll consume it. I turn it into sangria, and it's much more fun after that. So.
Ching-ching. We were actually going to barbecue today because it was 70 degrees here in Denver, and tomorrow it's going to snow. Welcome to Colorado.
Colorado, what do you do? All right, so anyway, this is usually a summer recipe for us, but the last thing we do before we pull up plants and things in the summertime is we pull up all the basil and we make pesto. Beautiful thing about pesto is it freezes, and we can use pesto all year round, and it really doesn't take very much to make a pot of pasta. We throw it in a jar and we put it in the freezer, and we can make pesto, and it tastes like summer all year round.
That's right, and it's not just for pasta. I mean, you can use pesto for anything. I mean, matter of fact, you posted those pictures already, right?
No, not yet.
Okay.
We had some chicken marinating. We made a round of pesto earlier today, and we marinated the chicken in the pesto and threw it in the fridge for a little bit. But yeah, it's great on meats. You can use it as a marinade. We all like it. Just any kind of pasta, especially the stuff that's got like if you want to do like fusilli or something like that, because the pesto gets like inside all those little spirals, and
it's beautiful.
It's delicious. All right, should we get down to this?
Let's get down to this.
There's the picture. That was the teaser that I posted.
There you go. Great.
There goes the cheese.
There goes the cheese. So, ingredient list. Here we go. So we have a 4-ounce package of organic, and I believe it is either the Christmas basil or it's the flat Italian. I believe it's the flat Italian. It's the large flat Italian, or it's the Italian large leaf. I'm sorry.
Yes.
That's what it's called.
Yes.
So 4 ounces. This is a 4-cup container. So 4 ounces of and it equals 4 cups. Remember, the 4 ounces does include the weight of the stems.
Yeah.
And there's quite a bit of them.
And you just pinch off the leaves. You don't throw the stems in. You just pinch off the leaves. And I have some special guest star basil today, too. I went down and saw my sister in Colorado Springs today, and she was growing pesto in her little arrow garden in the windowsill.
She was growing pesto in that? I want to see that.
She was growing basil.
That, Jennifer.
It's like baby.
I want to know how you do that.
Basil is
how
just
you grow pesto.
Baby pesto. It's fine. So she gave me
cloning pesto.
Yeah, it's like Dolly the pesto sheep. So she gave me some basil out of her little arrow garden. So I said I would give her a shout out. Thank you, Jennifer McElroy, for giving me some delicious fresh basil that we're going to add to our pesto mix over here. And
see the difference of this.
I think
this is sweet basil.
I think this is sweet basil. You can see it's kind
either
of like
sweet or a Sangiovese. Not Sangiovese. That's a wine, and I wish I was drinking that.
Yes. It's a curly leaf. So here's the difference. It's like you can see this it's very flat, and this one's really curly.
Yeah, the Genovese.
I think this is a
like
sweet.
this.
That's a sweet.
It might be sweet.
Yeah,
I haven't
think
tasted
that's
it.
her sweet basil. So yeah, we'll throw those all in there. All right.
Okay, so we got. Excuse me. So we got 4 cups of basil. We have a half cup of extra virgin olive oil split.
Quarter cup. You put some in at the beginning and some in at the end. Helps it make it nice and smooth. Should put one of these in now.
Yeah, go for it. Go for
All
it.
right, 1/4 cup goes in with your basil.
Give me
Delicious.
some bread.
Right. All right, so 1/4 cup now and a 1/4 cup later. Then comes the. That was the spoiler. It's the Parmigiano Reggiano.
So we're gonna grate some Parmigiano Reggiano. It's
Here, why don't you?
what I'm gonna over here.
You can grate it right there.
I'm gonna grate it over here. So all right,
There.
here we go.
Or you can grate it right there.
Right in your face. We usually put about half cup to 3/4 cups of grated Parmigiano Reggiano.
It grates really easy. This is I think I bought this little grater on Amazon for like, I don't know, $6 or $7, and we use this thing like almost every day. We grate a lot of cheese around here.
Yeah, we have backups, so don't worry. This is not. This one fails.
Yeah. So what is this? About 3/4 cup, you say?
Yeah, it's 3/4 cup. So
About
right
3/4
now I'm
cup.
at maybe like half cup.
That's about
here.
half cup. And you know, it's not hard to grate, but you can also
It's beautiful snow.
you can also just buy pre-grated. You know, if you're wanting to save a little bit of time, that's totally
If
fine.
you don't want to grate your
you don't wanna grate
skin
your-
or
if you don't
nails,
want- yes.
or you know, this is great manicure right here. It's exfoliating. All right, I think we're good there. Cheese.
Looks so nice. Look,
And then, babe, what do we do with the rind?
it's like cheese snow.
What do we do with the rind?
Okay, so the rind, you gotta keep this because it's a really handy little trick. I throw this dude into my minestrone soup, and it's so good. They actually sell rinds at the store that you can buy the rinds. Just buy the Parmigiano Reggiano, keep the rind, throw it in your soup. Delicious. Adds a little something to, and really you can put cheese on anything. I put cheese on everything. All right, this going in?
Yeah.
Okay. And there goes the chess. And chess.
Cheeseburger. When we were in Italy, we were in my parents' town, Mola di Bari, we were waiting for my cousin to get off of work.
There's a little sandwich shop.
So we were in Piazza, and there was a little cafe.
And we're hungry because all we do is eat anyway. So we were like, hey, why don't we go over here and get a little sandwich? So we roll into this little sandwich shop, and, I can read about 3 items on the menu. So I'm like flipping through, and I'm like, babe, what is that? I was like, what?
Uchess burger, right? Uchess burger,
And
right?
it's like chess, like a chess piece.
Like a
It's
chess piece.
spelled out chess burger. And so that's cheeseburgers now. It's a chess burger.
It was
'cause
awesome. It
it's
was like
funny.
typical, like phonetically sound,
Phonetically.
how like a Molesa would say it, in Molesa.
Un chess burger.
Uchess.
Un chess.
Uchess.
Un
Uchess
chess.
burger. Right.
What goes in next?
Okay, so we got a half teaspoon of
Sea
the
salt.
sea salt, the coarse sea salt. And this sea salt is brought to us by the country of Spain.
Yes, España.
And now what else? Am I got to do some more work?
The pep.
All right, pep. About a half freshly ground, half teaspoon of freshly ground pepper. Of course, I like a lot of pepper.
Yeah.
So
And if you're gonna
I
when we did our marinade,
maybe a little bit more. but
we added quite a bit of pepper, and
it
we
was
also
more like a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon and a half.
yeah. For this, if you're gonna put on pasta, unless you really like pepper, you want to draw back a little bit. And then in the marinade, we add a little bit of lemon juice too for the marinade. But for pasta, that's good. That's good stuff. Okay. Is that it? Is that it? I think it is.
Yeah,
All right.
very simple. Very simple.
Oh, well, the
Oh,
a lot
options.
of recipes. Yeah. So options.
Well, traditionally, you would
Nuts.
add
Pine nuts.
toasted pine nuts. But I'm not a big fan of, I like it
I don't
with
like
the
them.
pine nuts, but I actually like walnuts better than the pine nuts. So if you do want to add that additional layer of flavor, I would go with walnuts. But of course, it's, your preference. So
Well,
I'm not going to
and-
force you to just use walnuts. You can use pine nuts if you want
But
to.
the it's just if you like the taste of basil, you don't need to add anything else. Just keep it pure.
Yeah, and also, a lot of recipes call for garlic. I love garlic, but I love basil as well. So, and
It
I
can
like
overpower it.
exactly.
Yeah.
You're gonna push the button again because you're very good at pushing buttons.
I know. I push everyone's button. be mostly just yours. But, okay. Hey. All right, so you're just going to chop this thing for about, 20 to 30 seconds, and then we're going to come in with the extra oil. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Ding, 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 ding.
Keep going. It's gonna come down.
Oh, there it goes. So excited.
That's why I say 20 to 30 seconds.
20 to 30. Let me give it a little shake.
Well, we gotta add the other.
I know, we have to add the rest of the
olive oil.
Okay. There it goes. It's entertaining.
All right, so we're at a good consistency
Yeah.
here.
So we're
it
all
looks
chopped.
yeah, it looks it's a rough chop. Here, why don't you show the folks in the interwebs? It's finely chopped.
Yeah, so it's kind of a rough chop right now, and now we'll put in the. We need to get that other bit of oil in there.
Yeah, and then so it's going to be more like a puree.
All right, so now here comes your other 1/4 cup of oil.
Extra virgin olive oil. Okay.
Extra virgin olive oil.
Let's
So
not-
what we found in our grocery store adventures today, when we were looking at all the jarred pesto,
What did we find?
is that were you not there? Was I imagining you? Was that your hologram that you sent? A lot of the pre-made, pre-packaged olive oils. The second ingredient was canola oil.
You mean the pesto that we were looking at?
Pesto.
Pesto.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I can't
I'm
even.
here
It's
for you.
Sunday.
Got your back.
Canola oil was like the second ingredient. And used
so what did they use for filler? In a lot of them.
Spinach.
And there was 1 3-ounce. It was 3.5 ounce a jar of pesto that was $8.
It was $8.
No joke.
Yeah.
No joke.
$8.
I'm not going to say what it is, but I mean, this is not $8
It was
worth.
this big.
And this is organic.
Yeah. This is great. Yeah. Ready?
I'm ready.
You're born ready.
You got to push the buttons.
Here we
You're
go.
the expert.
I think that's it.
So it looks good? I
gonna
can't
get
see.
this-
I wear glasses.
I'm gonna get a spoon. Ooh.
See how it's like a puree now? I don't know if you guys can see it there.
Here we go.
But, yeah, there we go.
Ooh, yeah, that's the stuff right
So
there.
why don't you taste? Taste.
Ooh.
Taste? Tastes good.
That's a lot. Look.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm. Lots of stuff.
Fantastic.
Easy peasy.
Like, you can, if you're having people over, you can have it as, you can add a little bit more olive oil
put
to it.
bread in
You can, like,
it.
dip bread in it.
You can just eat it.
You can put it on Triscuits.
Or
I
just
mean, you can put it on
delicious.
shoe soles. I mean, it is delicious. If you like basil,
My so
just to make sure.
just to make sure. It's the last. It's like the finishing touch. Caleb, who's 14 now, pasta with pesto is one of his favorite things. That's like one of the things that he came up here and he was like, "Ooh, what's that? Is that pesto?" I was like, "Mm-hmm." So yeah, it's and it's delicious. I mean, it just tastes so fresh. It tastes like summer, right? All right. So
So now what?
we made it. We made one batch of this. So this freezes great. Pesto freezes so nice. So
It does, and that's what we do. We make it like Steph mentioned earlier. You know, we harvest.
We pull it all off our
Pull it all.
plants. Hopefully before the
We
snow
jar
comes.
it, we freeze it.
Uh-huh.
Another great trick, if you looked at recipes of making pesto, folks also put pesto in ice cube trays. So
Yeah, you can do that.
you can, pop a cube or two, for if it's just the two of you, or
And it
pop
really. So
6.
what is this? What is the yield on this? Is about what? About a
I feel
cup?
like I'm talking about X here, and you pop 1, 2, pop 6.
That's great. So I think this is probably about. So out of that 4 ounces that we had, about 3 cups. 4 cups.
Yeah.
It's about a cup of.
It's
pesto.
about a cup of pesto,
But-
maybe a little bit more.
This stuff goes a really long way. I mean, 1 jar of this. How many times can we make pesto out of it, or make like pasta with pesto out of this?
I would say maybe
It goes a really long
3
way.
times, 4 times.
And
Just
that's
depends
if
on how much
everybody-
pesto you
yeah.
like in your pasta or whatever you're making.
Yeah, some people like a little more, some people like a little less, but it freezes beautifully. It's a nice thing to throw in your freezer there for a little taste of summer. Yeah, and it's it goes a long way. 1 cup doesn't sound like very much, but it's not like tomato sauce, like a marinara where you're going to need a whole bunch. It's got a really strong flavor because it's basil, and the basil is delicious.
That's fantastic.
So there you go. This is a pint jar? Pint
What?
jar? You're like,
What happened?
you're licking the bowl.
That's delicious.
Oh my god. So there you go. There's a little 3/4 of a pint of pesto. Pop that in the freezer. And you've got a really quick thing to throw on your pasta in the middle of the week.
Throw on your pasta, marinate some chicken.
That's what we got
meat.
cooking right now.
Yeah.
We'll post a picture of that here in a few minutes.
That's
but
in,
that's coming
how
up.
much time we got on there? Oh my god, really? 25
There's
minutes
only 1
already?
minute left.
Wow,
Oh my
okay.
goodness. Awesome. Cool,
Let's
cool.
boil some water here. Because
All right.
we haven't eaten dinner yet.
I know. We were waiting. just for
Well, because it's for you. Okay, you come first, then us.
Yes. All right. Drop us a comment. Tell us what you'd like to see us make next.
Ooh, and so next week, it won't be like food processor simple. It's going to be a little bit more...
Adventurous?
Yeah, it will be. I mean, if... It's going to be a little bit more complex. Meaning that it's not going to be like 1, 2, 3, I push a button and hey,
week.
yeah.
Next week it's going to be a thing that everyone's like, ooh, I wish I knew how to make that. And everybody wants to eat it because it's delicious. That's
Right, or they go to
one of the kids' favorites.
a restaurant or a fast food joint to go get it, and it is disappointing at best.
Yeah, ours are delicious.
Yep.
And we'll show you how to make them next week.
For sure.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
All right, well, folks, thanks for hanging out with us.
I'm funny.
Yeah, you are funny.
I'm funnier than you. It's okay to admit it.
There you go. I got to add the cheese onto the chicken. But we're
Oh,
going to take
yeah.
a picture. We'll post it. You let us know, and we'll let you know how it turns out.
We'll see you next week.
All right.
Thanks.
Ching, ching.
Ching, ching. Bye. See you next time.